This is the true life story of the famous Bakassi boys, a vigilante group that reigned in southeastern part of Nigeria from the late 1980s to early 2000. In the year 1990, the southeastern part of Nigeria was thrown into a depth of terror and desperation, which led to the emergence of this vigilante group. This is the story of the Bakassi boys, the vigilante group who became legends. Their tale is intertwined with the dark legacy of a man called Deriko Mama, a notorious bandit whose reign of terror in the early 2000s left a profound impact on Nigerian society. Let me give you a background story of the man called Deriko Mama. Deriko Mama, born Okudili Ndiwe, rose to infamy in the southeastern part of Nigeria due to his audacious and brutal criminal activities, leading a gang of ruthless robbers. Deriko terrorized Anambra State and beyond with high-profile bank robberies, kidnappings, and murder. His sheer brutality and ability to evade capture made him a figure of fear and dread. Deriko's most chilling tactic was his use of letters to announce his gang's impending attack. He would write letters to families, streets, and communities, telling them about his coming and what they should keep and not keep for him. These letters served as psychological weapons, instilling fear and ensuring compliance from terrified communities. Fathers would quickly hide away their daughters. Mothers would take away things that were precious to them. Parents were sending their children out of the community just to keep them safe, because this man, Deri Mama, did not just rob or steal, he also made families commit incest against each other. He will force a mother to be raped by her son. He will force a father to sleep with his daughter. This continued for the longest time. Derry would instruct families to gather significant sums of money and warn them against contacting the police, threatening brutal consequences for any disobedience. These letters left recipients in a state of terror, knowing any resistance would be met with a lethal force. Derrico often taunted the police in his letters, boasting about his invisibility and their inability to stop him. This demoralized law enforcement and emboldened his gang, according to the mystic status. Derrico's gang committed heinous acts of violence and murder, leaving lasting psychological scars on their victim. In some instances, the gang would ruthlessly kill anyone who stood in their way during their robberies. These acts were designed to instill fear and exert total dominance on any community of choice. Communities were gripped by fear as Derrico's reign of terror continued unchecked, with his gang's brutality leaving a trail of devastation. The affected group of people were not just communities and families, but also traders from Aba in Abia State, Nigeria. They would wait for traders to head home and made away with all their money. They robbed them consistently because back then there wasn't so much of bank operation, so traders had their money in cartons and bags while they head home. This continued for the longest time. Communities were gripped by fear as Derrico's reign of terror continued unchecked, with his gang's brutality leaving a trail of devastation. The terror inflicted by Derrick Onwamama's gang paralyzed communities, individuals, and corporations. Nighttime became a period of dread, and businesses suffered because many people prioritized their safety. The police were largely ineffective, partly due to corruption and the gang's inside connection, which further eroded public trust in law enforcement. The inability of the police to protect communities and businesses from criminals like Derrico led to the formation of the vigilante groups, notably the Bakassi Boys, originating in Aba, a city in Abia State in the late 1990s. They were formed by market traders who were desperate to protect themselves, their businesses, and their families. The group later expanded their operation to Anambra State and other parts of the eastern Nigeria that were affected by the incident robbery of the likes of Derrick Onwamama. The Bakassi Boys aimed to restore order using brutal and extrajudicial methods. Public executions and harsh punishment for suspected criminals became their trademark. A particular young man amongst these Bakassi boys, whose name was Ikemefuna, a blacksmith known for his strength and sense of justice, became a key figure in the movement, earning the name the Hammer. Ikemefuna joined this team because his sister was brutally raped by the Onwamama's gang in one of their operations. So he rose and said to himself, "Enough is enough." The Bakassi boys claimed supernatural powers. Adding to their fearsome reputation, their authority grew as they succeeded in reducing crime rate and restoring a semblance of order and peace in the eastern community. Derrico's reign of terror finally came to an end in July 2001 when he was captured by the Bakassi boys. His capture was a significant victory for the vigilante group and a major relief for the terrorized communities. It felt like a scent of water when they were told that Derry, the notorious criminal, has been captured. Derrico was handed over to the Nigeria police after his capture, but was subsequently returned to the Bakassi boys due to fear of corruption and possible escape. The Bakassi boys executed Derrico in public in Onitsha, Anambra State, as a stark warning to other criminals. His execution was swift and brutal, reflecting the vigilante group's approach to justice. The Bakassi boys became the talk of the town. Every criminal, even the pettiest thief, would run helter-skelter the moment they hear that the Bakassi boys are on their way. Even schoolboys who scaled fence to go home, who picked pocket, everybody was in terror. The Bakassi boys, initially seen as heroes, began to overstep their boundaries. Innocent people were sometimes caught in their web of justice, and personal vendettas were settled under the guise of crime fighting. Public support waned and government crackdown eventually led to their downfall. After the execution of Derrick Onwamama and the disbandment of the Bakassi boys, peace and order was reinstalled in the Igbo communities. Traders began to trade freely, commute freely, and communities began to breathe again. This is the story of Derrick Onwamama and the Bakassi boys. We would like to hear from you. Tell us what you think about the Bakassi boys in the comments section. Have you been hearing about them? Is this your first time of hearing about them? Let us know in the comments section. Give us a thumbs up and share this video for others to be informed and also to know what happened in the late 1990s. Till the next story lovers. Enjoy your day. Bye.